Good morning to everyone. Once again, welcome to Geography class. In this class, we are going to see the upcoming point of the chapter number 1. Let's proceed. Chapter number 1, Resources and Development. Today we are on the topic number 6. In that we are going to see about land utilization and land use pattern in India. Dear cadet, first of all, have a quick revision of the chapter number 1, Resources and Development. First, we had talked and discussed about what is the definition of resources. After that, we had seen about the interdependent relationship between the human being using the technology, accessing to different natural things, that means the physical environment, and creating the institutions to develop the number of resources. We had seen the huge classification of the resources, figure 1.2. After that, we had seen the types of resources on the basis of ownership we had seen, on the basis of exhaustibility we had seen, on the basis of status of development, on the basis of origin. After that, why there is a need to develop the resources. After that, we had seen what is the meaning of resource planning and how resource planning is done in India. In our previous class, we had seen about why the land is called as a resource. We had seen the importance of land. After that, we had seen the relief features. In that, we had seen about the pie chart which I discussed with you about the plain covering the 43% area, mountain covering of 30%, and the plateaus covering 27%. Next, in today's class, we are going to see about the land utilization. In that, have a quick review for that. We will discuss about forest, the land not available for cultivation, permanent pasture, and the grazing land, the land under miscellaneous, just like the trees, cultivable wasteland, fallow land, and net zone area. So let's move further. First, the land resources are used for the following purpose. In that, the first point is about the forest. So the land resources are used for the forest purpose. Number of the areas in our India is covered with the forest, and we are using them for many purposes. Second point, land not available for cultivation. So which are the land which are called as they are not available for cultivation? So the 2 points are placed here. Point number 1, A and B. So point number A is speaking about the barren and the wasteland. Point number 2, the land put to non-agriculture uses. Example, buildings, roads, factories, etc. So the point number 1 is talking about the area which is covered with the forest, the land area which is covered forest. These are the land resources, and the land which is not able for cultivation. Barren land, wasteland, land put to the non-agriculture uses. In that we are making number of infrastructures, just as the buildings, roads, factories, etc. Next, moving further, point number 3, other uncultivated land. So in the bracket it is given about the fallow land. In that we are having the point number A, B and C. So let's check out what is the point number A is talking about. Point number A, permanent pasture and grazing land. Already you knowing about what is the meaning of pasture land and grazing land. So these are the land piece where the people used to take their animals, whatever the animal they are herding, for grazing purpose. These pastures lands are used for grazing the animals. Land under miscellaneous, that means the tree cropped grove not included in net zone area. So what is the meaning of net zone area? We are going to understand soon. Point number C, cultivable wasteland. That means in bracket the explanation is given that the land which is left uncultivated for more than 5 agriculture year. So more than 5 agriculture year, if the land is going to be uncultivated, that is going to be called as a cultivable wasteland. The land which is not included in the net zone area, that means the land under miscellaneous tree crop growth, and permanent pasture and grazing land. These all 3 points are talking about the fallow land included in that and other uncultivated land. This is the land utilization in India. Point number 4, fallow lands. So the current fallow that left without cultivation for one or less than one agriculture year, that is going to be called as current fallow land. B, other than current fallow land, that means they are going to be left uncultivated for 1 to 5 agriculture year. So point number 4 is talking about the fallow lands, in that we are talking about current and other fallow land. Next, moving further to see the point number 5, net sown area. So here, area sown more than once in a agriculture year plus net sown area is known as gross cropped area. It's clear. To make you more understand for this topic, one question you please write down in your notebook. What is net sown area? So in the examination, the question can be placed for 1 mark on this topic. What is net sown area? At the time you have to write the answer. It is the actual area under the cultivation, or you can place the same definition, the area sown more than once in an agriculture year plus net sown area is known as a crop area. I repeat the question, what is net sown area? Next, answer for is, it is the actual area under cultivation. Next, what is gross cropped area? So for the gross cropped area, please write the question in your notebook. What is gross cropped area? It is the actual area cultivation along with the fallow land which is left uncultivated for fertility. You are knowing about that the farmers are leaving the land piece for 1 year or more than that, or for the few months, so that the soil can regain the fertility, so that the productivity of the crops can be increased or in a good volume. Next, moving further to see the next point. Next, we are going to have the discussion on the topic of land use pattern in India. So here, in a detailed one, first we are going to see about the land use pattern of India. That means we are going to see about the determined by both the physical and the human factor, and the land use data available only for the 93% area. Next, move into the detail to see about the point, the textual language, the land use of in India, determined by the both physical factor such as topography, climate, soil and type. Point number here, land use pattern in India. Speaking to about topography of the soil, climate and soil type. By that only the people used to live in that particular area, as well as the human factors such as population, density, technological capability and cultural and tradition. So these points are talking about the nature of this particular area, climate, soil type, density, technology, capability and cultural and tradition, which simply means about the people are liking that area only to live, in that there will be a favorable climate, the topography of that area is going to be good, the soil is going to be very good, then related to the population, having their culturally community over there and tradition, they want to use the land pattern. Next, this is the figure number 1.4, which speaks about the general land use categories 1960 to 61 and general land use category of 2014 to 15. So here two pie charts are there, pie chart number 1 and pie chart number 2. So by this you can understand about the general land use categories from 1960 to 61 and 2014 to 2015. In that the colors are marked with the blue, brownish, green, purple and blue, light blue. Please compare this one, because in the textbook one activity is placed after this pie chart. This figure one activity is there of comparison of both the pie chart. You please read this whole pie charts very clearly. In the examination also it can be asked for 1 marks or for the 3 marks. This is your homework. Next, the total geographical area of India is 3.28 million square kilometer. Already we had discussed all these points in the chapter number 1, India's size and location, in class 9 standard. So land use, the data however is available only for 93%, as I stated earlier to you. 93% of the total geographical area, because the land use reporting for most of the northeast states except Assam has not been done fully. Moreover, some areas of Jammu and Kashmir occupied by Pakistan and China have also not been surveyed. So these are the disputed area where the conflict between the India and Pakistan and India and China is still going on, and that area is not been surveyed. So the total use of the land is not been done in few areas, just like we are talking about Assam and POK and COK. Moving further, land under permanent pasture has also decreased. How are we able to feed our huge cattle population and their pasture land? As I stated about, the peoples are herding animals, and for the grazing purpose they require the pasture land. So what are the consequences of it? Most of the other than the current fallow lands are either of poor quality, and the cost of cultivation of such land is very high. Hence, these lands are cultivated once or twice in about 2 or 3 years. And if these are included in the net sown area, then the percentage of NSA, that means the short form of net sown area in India, comes to about 54% of the total reporting area. So dear cadet, here we are observing about the land use pattern of India. Please read this slides presentation once again. The pattern of net sown area varies greatly from one state to another. So what is that? It is over 80% of the total area in Punjab and Haryana, and less than 10% in Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram, Manipur, Andaman Nicobar Islands, and the forest area in the country is far lower than the desired 33% of the geographical area, as it was outlined by the National Forest Policy. So 1 marks question can be asked, that in which year it was implemented? NFP. So 1952 will be the answer. I repeat, what is the full form of NFP? So it is going to be National Forest Policy, and in which year it was implemented? So 1952. It was considered essential for maintenance of the ecological balance, the livelihood of millions of people who lived on. That means they are totally dependent on the forest for their livelihood. Next, moving further, friends of these forests depends upon it. That means their livelihood depend upon all the forest products they are using it and consuming. A part of the land is determined as wasteland, and land put to on other non-agricultural uses. Wasteland includes rocky and arid and desert areas, and land put to other non-agricultural uses including settlements, roads, railway, industry, etc. So these already we had discussed in the land utilization pattern. The next, continuous use of the land over a long period of the time without taking appropriate measures to conserve and manage it. So what's going to be there? It's going to result in land degradation. So this in turn has a serious repercussion on the society and the environment. So repercussions means to be the serious outcome, or we can speak about the result or impact on the society. So dear cadet, this slide is speaking about the human need and human greed which will make the land is going to be degraded. So in the next presentation we are going to see about the land degradation and the conservation measure for it. So what is the meaning of land degradation we are going to see, and the different conservation steps to conserve the land and to increase its. Next few important questions I want to tell to you. Please copy it down in your notebook, which are very important. Question number 1. Here we have finished. I'm stating the few questions which are very important related to this topic, right? The questions are on this topic first. On this topic, right? So on this topic, the land resources which are used for the following purpose. On this topic, one question is there. Please write in your notebook. For what purpose are the land resources used? For what purpose are the land resources used? Or explain the land resources used in our country. So like that, first the land resources are used for the following purpose. In that you have to highlight the following points. Forest. Second, the land not available for cultivation, in which we are including the barren and the wasteland, the land used for the building, road, etc. Point number 3, that means the uncultivated land and the fallow land. Fourth point, net fallow for regaining the fertility of the soil. Net sown area where the actual take place. Next, after summing up all these points are very important, which speaks about the land utilization and the land use pattern in India. Once again quickly, I am going to summarize this topic for you. So first, we have seen about the land utilization. In the land utilization pattern, we have seen the forest, then the land which are not available for the cultivation, then permanent and the pasture and the grazing lands. Next, the fallow lands. Next, the net sown area. I stated one question also on this topic. After the land use pattern in India, then this pie chart, I told you to do the homework. That's mean the one activity which is given in the textbook. These all points, please read it. If you are facing any doubt and difficulty, please ask to me. Next, at the last, I want to tell to each and everyone, please watch all the video which are sliced into the parts. This is the part number 6. Please go through it. Please prepare all the notes of it. I am happy to see the notes of the cadet. They are preparing notes, taking the photograph and sending to me. Lastly, I want to thank to each and everyone for watching this video. If you haven't subscribed my channel, please subscribe it, because as I am going to upload a new video for you, you are going to quickly have it. So lastly, thanking to each and everyone once again. Be safe and secure at your home. Jai Hind to one and all.